Hey everybody, we're going live for our first-time home buyer class, and we want to make sure that if you're going to look for a home for the first time, that we offer you some good advice on how to do that from a real estate, mortgage perspective, realtor perspective, and a little bit from title as well. I'm Adam Markward with Bliss Mortgage. My NMLS number is 1225411.
I'm Kathy Shank with People's Choice Realty Services.
Hey everybody, it's Mandy coming straight from Adam's office.
Yes.
I am with North American Title in Claremont, but of course able to do transactions in the state of Florida, anywhere you are in the state of Florida. Adam, why don't you get started and let us know kind of what we're going to go over today.
So basically, I'm going to give some information from a mortgage broker perspective, and basically how to get yourself financially ready when you're looking for a home, or even before you look for a home, how to get ready so that when the time comes, you're financially ready to buy. The first thing, there's basically three main aspects when you go to buy a home: your assets, your income, and your credit. All three of those optimally you want to have in line, ready to go, so when you go to make an offer on the house, you can make the strongest offer possible. As far as assets go, you want to make a savings goal. You want to establish beforehand how much house you want to buy, at least save money for the down payment, and you want to be able to cover your closing costs as well. There are ways to get the seller to do that sometimes, and you can get gift funds from relatives, your close family members. But you want to make sure that your money is in order, so when you go to make that offer, that it's more likely to be accepted. There's also down payment assistance programs to people who qualify. There are benefits and drawbacks to doing that, but for the people who are the right people for that, that's a good option as well. Next thing is income. Now, they want to have stable, provable income for at least 2 years. Now, there's an exception to that. If you've gone to school, say to be a nurse or a doctor or something like that, you don't necessarily have to have 2 years. They know you went to school for it, and they know that the money that you're making is likely to continue. But a minimum of 2 years is what the industry uses to establish a baseline for provable and stable income. You want to make sure during the house hunt and the pre-approval process that you don't change jobs. And I've had some people do this before. The loan is still doable if they do change jobs, but you want to avoid doing that. You don't want to throw a monkey wrench in the operation and lose that home of your dreams because you decided you want to change jobs. So try not to do that.
Adam, can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
So maybe some people are wondering, you said that it's still doable.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, if I change jobs in the middle of the loan process, how can we still do that?
If you go an hourly to an hourly position, or say commission to commission. But if you decide that you are really, really good at what you do and you decide you want to go out on your own and become a 1099 employee where you're not working for somebody, you work for yourself, even though it's the same industry, you don't want to do that. So basically, stay same industry but same pay. That's the main thing.
Okay, all right.
So hourly to hourly, commission to commission. So, and like just to expand on that, if you go from an hourly job to a commission job, they're not going to allow you to use that commission in most cases to qualify. So stability is what they're looking for, and that's really the main message. Is you want to make sure that there's stability in your income, your assets, and then your income as well. Last thing is credit, and I find I get a lot of questions, a lot of the same questions from people, and the fundamental understanding for most people of credit is not what I'd like to see. I'll put it like that. And the main thing is some people tend to look for things online, and when you're shopping online, sometimes people will you'll go to a website and they'll have a spot for you to put your personal information in, and someone will reach out to contact you. Do not do that.
Bad news.
If you do that, when you read the fine print, in most cases it will tell you that the multiple people are going to be reaching out to you. They could ask you to pull your credit. It becomes a nightmare of people beating you up because they know you want to buy a house. So there are people out there who they'll call you a lead, and they'll call. They get a list of 100 people a day, and they make a ton of phone calls. And you're one of many people, and many people will call you and blow your phone up. Definitely do not do that. Start getting your credit in shape now. So if there's any indication that your credit is not in order the way you want it to be, I work with industry professionals who can help you build, maintain, and fix your credit if there's something wrong with it. And having good credit, it's not the end all be all, but you're going to get better loan terms when you have better credit. And there's certain lenders will advertise they go down to a certain score, what have you. But keep in mind that if you do that, the lower your credit score is, the more money you have to come with up front typically. So better credit is going to give you better loan terms, certainly. There's a way you can get a free credit report every year. You don't necessarily have to have someone pull your credit to see a score. If you go to annualcreditreport.com, and I'm going to comment that after this video is over, that way you can actually get, it's totally free of charge, and you can get a snapshot of what your credit is at that moment, and no score, mind you, but that way you know what's on your credit report. And if you need to work with a professional, they can use that to see where your credit's at and get it to where it needs to be.
Now that you brought up credit, how often should people be in a process like first-time home buying? How often should people be checking their credit?
I would say once a month, because credit changes monthly. So you want to make sure at least once a month if there's any major changes that are happening. In some cases, people will make a major purchase when they're going to buy a home. They think, got this brand new home, let's go buy some furniture. Don't buy that furniture until after you got the home, not before.
Yeah, that was my next question. Yeah. What about that?
Yeah, like no big purchases during. You want to keep your credit as squeaky clean as possible. Don't apply for any new lines of credit, and no major money transfers. That's really more assets, but.
So we don't want to file any bankruptcies.
No,
or
definitely don't want to do that.
No.
Anything majorly financial. Okay. Your whole case is you're laying out a case to a lender in order to loan you, in many cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you want to make sure your house is completely in order to do that. That way you can dictate the terms to the lender, not the other way around, because that's never fun.
Now, do you have someone that helps you or your clients with credit repair if in fact they are looking to be a first-time home buyer?
I do, absolutely. Okay. And I work with a professional. His name's Michael Bergner. If you're watching Mike, hey.
Hey, Mike.
He got into the business through going through a bad experience himself, personally, in credit repair, and so he does it the right way. I'm going to post his information at the end of this video, and if you are needing credit repair, even if you're not buying a house, you don't necessarily have to be. He can help you fix your credit and give you some good advice as well. So
awesome.
Yeah, good stuff there.
Awesome, thanks.
Last thing about credit that I wanted to touch on is that the higher the monthly obligation, the more it affects your credit score. If you have a credit card with a $35 a month payment and you miss that, it's not going to affect your score as much as if you have a $2,000 mortgage and you miss that payment. So just keep in mind, not that we want you to ever miss a payment. Paying on time is good, paying early is even better. And so the better financial habits you have as far as paying people back that you said you were going to pay back, lenders see that, and when they see that you're paying people back in a timely manner, that way you're going to be a better credit risk, and they're going to be more likely to want to loan you money on favorable terms to you. So main point I want to get across though, the stronger your financial standing, the stronger offer you can make. And so getting your income, assets, and credit in order beforehand, and I have a lot of borrowers that do this, high five to you guys, thank you. Get it in order beforehand, and then that way when you go to shop, it makes your experience a lot easier, a lot more smooth.
And so I have another question. How long can a first-time home buyer expect to be in the process of, with the lender, and how long will it take them? I mean, it's probably changes for each client,
sure,
but
sure.
What do you see?
It depends on their financial situation. Some people I meet already have their house in order as far as credit, income, and assets, and they can pretty much make an offer within a couple days. Other times when we need to work with somebody to get them there, sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months, sometimes more. So it really depends. Each situation is different. Each borrower is different. But the answer is always yes. We can definitely help. But in many cases, we have to give advice on how to get to that yes.
So you have the resources to help them get there.
Absolutely.
If that's where they need to get.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
good.
We help you with the due diligence. That once, if we give you advice, if you're not quite there yet, and we give you advice, and you follow that advice, we're going to get you in a good position to buy a home. So the last thing you want is to fall in love with a home, and you go to make an offer, and your finances aren't in order, and someone else gets that house that you wanted. And I've seen it happen before. It's very heartbreaking. And so my whole goal is to make sure that you're ready to buy financially, and have the smoothest process possible as far as buying goes.
So can you tell us, is now a good time to buy?
It is always a good time to buy, and you would think, well, geez, you're in real estate, you would say that. But what I usually tell people in that case is that if you're not an owner, you're typically a renter. If you live at home rent-free, fantastic as well.
High fives for that one too.
Right, yeah. But if you're not an owner, you're a renter, and the difference is that there's nothing wrong with renting, mind you. That's fine to do. But keep in mind that when you pay a mortgage either way. It's just when you're renting, you're not paying yours, you're paying someone else's. And so the people that tell me when I talk to them and they say, well, I don't know if I want to buy yet. I want to wait. I don't think buying's a good time or a good idea right now. What I tell them is that if you can find me a place to rent with a landlord is going to give you many thousands of dollars in equity to move out, let me know. I'll come rent with you.
There you
go.
So
the answer to that question is yes. Even if you bought a house right before the market crashed and everything crashed in 2008, that house would actually be worth, in most cases, more now than it was back then. So it's always a good time to buy.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I agree.
Kathy?
Well, thank you, Adam. That was a lot of great information. I'm going to start off with this. Did you all know that June is National Homeowners Month?
I did not know that.
Wow, cool.
Perfect time
That's
to
awesome.
start our
Yay.
Facebook Live.
I love it.
So I'd like to share with you 7 ways to prepare for house hunting, since that's what we're talking about today. So this touches on what we were just talking about, Adam. There is no right time to buy. It's always a good time to buy. If you find the perfect home and you like it, you find it now, don't risk losing that home because you're trying to guess where the market is going, where interest rates are going. Those factors usually don't change fast enough to make a difference in that individual home's price. The next one I have is plan ahead, and that kind of goes hand in hand with Adam and getting a mortgage. You don't want to wait until you found the house that you love to get approved for a mortgage, investigate homeowner's insurance, consider your moving schedule. Being prepared is going to make your offer more attractive to the sellers out there. Accept that no house is ever going to be perfect. If you find a
sure.
That's for sure. If you find a home and it's in the right location, the yard may be a little smaller than you had hoped. If you find a home that has the perfect kitchen, there might need some repairs that need to be done in addition. Make a list of the top priorities that you have, the things that are most important to you, and let the minor ones go. Also, accept that having a little buyer's remorse is inevitable, and hopefully, most likely, it will pass.
I have a little buyer's remorse when I go to Ross and spend a little too much money, but I haven't had a chance to do that lately, so maybe I wouldn't be remorseful, I don't know. But that's true. Like, I think that I know a lot of people that say, we just bought this house, and I'm not really sure if this is where I want to stay forever. But the answer to that probably is, and you would agree, you don't have to.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
So you can buy one the first time, but there's only one first, right?
Right.
Right. So
And just
very
because it's
cool.
not exactly the way you want it doesn't mean you can't make it that way. It's your house.
You
Yeah,
can always
exactly.
make improvements.
Exactly.
But some things, you can't. So just try to accept that it's not always going to be perfect.
Got it.
This one I think is pretty good. Don't ask for too many opinions. It's natural to want reassurance when you're making a big decision. But too many ideas from too many different people is just going to make it harder to make that decision. Focus on the wants and needs of the people that are going to actually live in the home. This one, I think a lot of people get, they think this is so important, but don't try to be a killer negotiator. Negotiation is definitely a part of the real estate process. That's what we do as realtors. We're here negotiating on your behalf, but trying to always just win by getting an extra low price or refusing to budge may end up costing you your dream home. Next, this one's pretty good too. Remember that your home doesn't exist in a vacuum. don't get caught up in the physical aspects of the house itself, that you forget about important issues such as the noise level, access to amenities, your commute, what your possible commute could be, schools, other aspects that are also going to have a big impact on your quality of life.
So like that's like if you have this great neighborhood, you find this wonderful house, and it's right by an airport. So here are all the planes, and you haven't thought about that. You move in, and this neighborhood's great, and this house is wonderful, but every 35 or 40 minutes there's an airplane taking off,
You have
and
to,
it's loud.
you have to take that into account. Is that something you're going to be able to live with?
Do you see that there's a lot of people that may find what they think is the house they want, and then go, oh man, maybe this isn't quite how we pictured it? Do you find that a lot?
Yeah, you have to just look at the big picture.
Yeah.
Look at the big picture. It's not just the house, it's all of those other things too that go with it.
Absolutely.
And this is the last one I have. So choose a home first because you love it, then think about appreciation. So you were saying like even the houses that lost a lot of value,
Have regained it.
they've regained it. Gallup just did their recent poll on investments, and 35% of Americans picked owning a home as their best favorite long-term investment. So that's kind of staying at that percentage for a long time now. A home is still considered a great investment, but its most important role is a comfortable and safe place to live. So, find a home that you love, and then think about the appreciation. So finally, I'm just wrapping up with, I work for People's Choice, and we like to say at People's Choice that you have choices. So contact me to discuss your options if you're wanting to buy a house. Find out how I can help to save you a little bit of money with your closing costs with my program Rewards Plus.
Awesome. Kathy, what counties do you sell real estate in?
Greater Tampa Bay area. I sell Pasco County, Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, and anywhere in that area.
Awesome.
I can help you out.
Good. Adam, what about you? What counties are you currently working in? Are you the state of Florida?
It's the whole state of Florida. So
Okay.
if you are purchasing a house in the state of Florida, there's a high probability I can finance it.
Nice.
So it's some places the whole state.
Kathy, what was June again?
June. It's National Homeownership.
Okay, so what a great month to get started, especially like getting started with maybe taking a look at your credit like Adam talked about, or getting your ducks in a row, making sure you're finding a spot that you really love, but that you love everything about it, not just some things like Kathy talked about. And then I am just going to briefly tell you my role in this whole scenario. So again, my name is Mandy with North American Title. I can help with closings throughout the state of Florida, but we work closely with these guys. So in a transaction, we're going to work closely with the agents and with the mortgage broker, the lender, and with you. So there'll be more that I can cover with you as a title company. I think right now to get started, what you need to focus on is probably what these two guys have talked about. Of course, I am always available to answer any questions that you might have, and I'm sure they are too. And I think I did say that I'm available throughout the state of Florida. So I don't just have to be in Hillsborough County or Lake County or Pasco County. I can help you anywhere. But I look forward certainly to seeing you all again soon, and I think Adam has a few things he'd like to talk about too. So.
Yeah, definitely. Lastly, and just kind of add what Mandy said, title basically takes care of the legal aspect of purchasing a property. And all this stuff you might not think about when you go to buy it, but being that it's a legal event, of course somebody has to deal with that legally. And in the state of Florida, you're not required to use an attorney, but the title company basically handles the legal aspect of it. You certainly can, but you're not required to. So that's nice. The last thing I want to add to this whole thing is that this is the first of hopefully a series of videos that we can do to help people make what is going to be, for most people, the biggest financial transaction of their life, make it as smooth as possible, and help them be confident that they made the right decision. And so any questions that you may have, feel free to private message any one of us. I'm also, if any feedback that you have, that you can give us, either any questions or any feedback from the video that you would like to give us, PM us, and then that way, we can help and hopefully take what we have here and add to it, but improve it down the road as well. So.
Or topics that they may be interested in finding
Sure.
out. So like today we talked briefly on first-time home buyers, but you guys may have some other things that you're interested in also. So maybe that would be an idea for our next,
Definitely.
live.
People don't purchase houses every day unless you're an investor or something like that. So.
And if you are, just send them this way.
Fantastic. But even if you're someone you had bought a couple houses in your life, you don't do it every day. So if you have a question, even if you're not working with any one of us, we're glad to answer questions. We may not be able to answer transaction-specific questions, but certainly be there to help you and answer any questions you may have. So that's what we're looking to do, is help as many people as we possibly can. So
Absolutely.
Ladies?
Yeah, that's what I always say. I don't have to be handling your transaction to answer your questions, so I'm all about it. I'll make sure that we post contact info also in the link of this so that you have all of our information. But Kathy, you got anything?
I'm always available to answer questions or help or whatever you need. Let me know.
Sounds like a helpful crew here, guys.
Yes.
So we are waiting on you. Let us know what we can help you with for sure.
Awesome.
All right, we look forward to seeing you all
Thanks
again.
for joining us.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.